Good morning and welcome to this conference. Welcome to Christiansborg, the house of the Danish Parliament, Folketinget. I'm not in the organizing committee at all. My name is Knud Wilby. I'm the practical guy here who are trying to keep track and to facilitate the debate during the day. I've been looking forward. I've been through the program. It looks extremely interesting, also because it's not just about theoretical thoughts about basic income, but about the practical experiences taking part in different parts of Europe and the rest of the world. As said, I have to be the practical person. I will be the timekeeper. It's kind of a tough schedule. That's also why we try to be quite punctual. As you can see, this morning's session, we have 3 interventions, each 20 minutes. After that, we have a debate, also for about 20 minutes. This means we have to stick to the timetable to be able to come through the program during the day. The official welcome you will have from Uffe Elbæk, head of the new Danish party, the Alternative, former Minister of Culture and former a lot of other things. Welcome, Uffe.
And thank you for that introduction, and good morning, all you brave people. And it's very precise that I say brave people, because first of all, I think it's the first conference here in the Danish Parliament about basic income. And I know when I look over the top of the crowd, I see a lot of gray-haired people. And you should be proud of that, because that means that you have been struggling for a long time to discuss how can we reinvent society as we know it today, and how can we imagine another future. And it has been a long process, but I think there's a window of opportunity right now where we see in different parts of the world a very fresh discussion about how can we reorganize the society? How can we reorganize the way we understand economy? How can we reimagine what it means to work? And how can we also reimagine what does it mean to have an identity? Most people these days, when you meet them, the first thing you ask them is, what job do you have? So there's a very specific link between identity, self-understanding, and the job you have. And I think part of the discussion you have to have today is interlinked with some of these questions I've just raised. From the Alternative, we are very happy to be the host for the conference. We have nothing to do with the program, besides that I'm speaking to you right now. But we have been able to secure the space and the platform you use right now. And I think that's, for us, it's a big honor to be able to support you in this manner. When we speak about a new economy in the Alternative, we also talk about how can we be sure that we don't disappear in what we call the political Bermuda Triangle. And the Bermuda Triangle in this specific discussion is a triangle that consists of 3 enormous challenges. One is the climate crisis. The climate crisis for us changed everything. The way we understand production, consumerism, economy, etc. So that's one angle of the Bermuda Triangle, political Bermuda Triangle. The other triangle is how does the technology development affect our job market, our work market. There have come out some surveys just recently here in Denmark that up till around 800,000 jobs as we know it today will disappear in the next 20 years. So climate crisis, the technology challenges, and the last one is the economic system. And the economic system, as we see it, are facing its own limitation. Even if we are talking from a neoliberal economy perspective, which we really don't want, but if we step into their shoes, even the neoliberal economy are facing their own limits. The fantasy about large-scale growth in the economic system is it is a fantasy. Since the 70s, 80s, we haven't seen large economic growth rates in our part of the world. So this political Bermuda Triangle with the climate crisis, the technology, and the limitation of the way we understand the economic system today, in that triangle we can disappear. But in that triangle we can also imagine another future. And that's where your discussion about basic incomes comes into the play. Because if we try to secure a new social security base for everyone in our society, we have to discuss what potential do we have when it comes to the basic income. And in the alternative, we haven't gone all the way. We've gone so far that we say that we think it's important to make experiments when it comes to basic income. We have to make some pilot projects and figure out what works, what doesn't work. And if it works, let's scale it up. And I know that that's part of the discussion you are going to have here today, is to figure out what can we learn from the Finnish examples, what can we learn from the Canadian examples, what can we learn from the UK examples. And I'm really happy that there's this opportunity to share experience, good and bad. Another question which we're discussing in the alternative is there's always a light side and a dark side to everything. So most of you guys are, of course, looking into the light side of the basic income. But what is the dark side of basic income? Some of our colleagues also from the UK, which we are talking with, are highlighting that we should be aware that if we understand basic income in the wrong way, that's actually, in a way, pushing people to a very passive role. You'll get your money, please be quiet. It's your own destiny. You have to secure your own life. You get a check, over and out. And that's for sure not the way we understand basic income in the alternative. We think it's extremely important to go up against the bureaucratic system and the control system as we have it in Denmark when it comes to people on social welfare. And we have to understand that if we give people responsibilities, they will be responsible. And we have to understand that we want to motivate people positively. So that's the reason why we are so up against, and we debate it, and we want to change the whole control system as we have it today in Denmark when it comes to people on social welfare. But on the other hand, did you see that? Mm. He thinks I'm running out of time. And that's totally sure. I'm running out of time, but I just also want to recommend you that be honest and also talk about both light side and dark side when it comes to the whole discussion about basic income. And see basic income as only one of the building blocks to a new economic model. And that's our task at the alternative, is to start the discussion about what kind of economic model will come after the present version of capitalism. Because there has to come another economic model. We know parts of it, we discuss parts of it, and you will do it as well here today. But that's actually the big Apollo project, to figure out what is the next economic model. And basic income can play a very important role in that discussion. But basic, welcome. you brave people. And be brave, be honest, and try to really to also talk about the risky questions. Don't be too polite, but be nice. So have a good morning and have a good conference.
Thank you, Uffe.